Okay, so we'll wait till some Vaishnavas come before we have a discussion. And maybe I'll start now anyway for the recording and just give a basic understanding of what's going on here. Uh, so anyway, became clear to me this morning. Actually, it's just I kind of understood this before, but it became even more clear to me uh, what Lord Chaitanya came to this world to teach, and it's a very amazing path. It's a path that very quickly awakens bhakti in others. Let's see, how can I do this with? Yeah, it's a path that very quickly awakens prema bhakti in others, and he did it by tasting the mellows of devotion. And so when you really look at Chaitanya, the teachings in Chaitanya Lila and Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Mangal, all of them, you'll see it becomes very clear that that's why the Lord came. He came to teach this devotional path of prema bhakti, actually, pure love of God in ecstatic emotion. And he did it by practicing it himself. And because that's the only way to really do it. you have to teach it by being an example of it, and where people can see what you're doing. You see that this is actually something real. So Lord, and we're going to read where I'll just prove all these points, just very easily, because this is so different and so unique in Vaishnavism now. I haven't heard it talked about openly that much. People have hinted about it and all this, but actually, from the very beginning of this preaching, when I got the order from Prabhupada to do this, it became clear that this is a very unique and wonderful path and opportunity, actually, for the devotees, the Vaishnavas. Yeah, okay, so basically, Lord Chaitanya taught distributed this prema by tasting the mellows of the Hare Krishna mantra in the mantra, and also the pastimes of the Lord. He would relish these mellows, and he would become so ecstatic and so enraptured by the name. And those who were around him, those who were favorable, they began to feel this prema that was emanating from them because of their faith in Lord Chaitanya. The reason why people don't get it now usually is because they're not favorable to the devotees who are teaching this path. But it is so rare that one out of millions maybe might be teaching it, yeah, if you find it. So it's so rare and it's so different, and it's very easy to misunderstand. You think the person that's like this kind of a guru or spiritual master is crazy, teaching people a lot of misconceptions that the devotees teaching in such a way are sahajas. The Varnasi sannyasis thought Lord Chaitanya was a sahaja. They said, oh, he's a sentimentalist. And even our group, because we're actually been ordered by Prabhupada. I've been ordered by Prabhupada in 1996 to teach this because it was time. All his books were out. The Goswami books had been translated. And I was relishing this path or tasting this path personally myself, but not really teaching it to anybody or sharing it for years. And then it was just obviously the right timing. And so Prabhupada ordered this. He said, yeah, do this, do more of this way of teaching as people started to come. So I just want to help people, devotees, Vaishnavas, anybody, understand what's going on here more clearly, so that people can partake of this amazing grace. You know, it's true. It's like I think we have a new name for our group, Lord Chaitanya's amazing grace place, because this prema is amazing. And I was seeing this morning, it was really amazing to see one of our students, as uh, I was teaching by my own my own relishing the pastimes, you know, openly amongst my followers. And they were one of them was really getting into it, and and also experiencing many wonderful symptoms of prem, and then afterwards did some reading herself and was going into very amazing exalted states of prema bhakti. You know, you could see these manifestations in the body. That's another subject we can talk about. What are the actual symptoms of prem? There, it's all in Prabhupada's books. It's all there. Chapter 23 of Madhya Lila said those who are elevated to the path of prema bhakti, sometimes they laugh, sometimes they cry, they shiver, and they make loud humming sounds and all kinds of amazing things start coming. It's just amazing. It's very unique and very rare. So I feel the legacy that our group is here for is to teach people about this special mercy of Lord Chaitanya and keep this line going, because that it's all leading to this anyway, and not, and to actually transcend the Vaidhi platform of, you know, like strict adherence to rules and regulations. And a lot of people are afraid of that. Oh, he's going to try, he wants to give up rules and regulations. No, it's not that. Transcending them by coming onto this path. This is what Lord Chaitanya came to teach, is the path of tasting these mellows amongst those who were favorable, his followers and disciples. Well, he didn't have any official disciples, but you know, they were definitely his followers, and they picked it up. See, so I'm going to read chapter 1 of Chaitanya Bhagavat here and show you where the Sankirtan movement really started, and how it's starting again on this platform in this way. Okay, what do we got? Some comments here. Okay, here we go. What do we got? Jai Shri Chaitanya, all glories. Yeah, great. Thank you for coming, everybody. Okay, so I'll start reading, and I'll point these things out as we come on to it. All glories to Lord Vishwambara, the crest jewel of amongst Brahmins, and all glories to the beloved associates of Vishwambara. All glories to Lord Gaurachandra, the stalwart among all religious preachers, the safe bridge to the spiritual sky. He has fully subdued his physical and mental urges. Oh, glories to him. He possesses incomparable beauty and is the embodiment of congregational chanting of the holy name. All glories to Lord Gaurachandra, for he is the dearest friend in life of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and the object of love of Gadadhar Pandit and Advaitacharya Prabhu. He is very dear to Sri Jagannananda Pandit and the tender, loving heart of Akrishwara Pandit and Kashishwar. Okay, I'm going to skip a little bit. The entire township of Navadvip offered jubilant and loud welcome to the Lord, who had just returned from Gaya, Dham. Friends and relatives rushed to meet the Lord. The Lord spoke sweetly. The Lord spoke sweetly to everyone, and they were overjoyed to see Lord Vishwambara return. They all accompanied the Lord and brought him to his house, and he began narrating the experiences of his pilgrimage. See, now he's going to begin to narrate amongst his devotees personally, narrate his experiences, and he's doing it, he's talking in ecstasy, relishing the words. See, these words are are transcendental, relishing the names that he's talking about. He's talking in ecstasy. This is Lord Chaitanya's forte. Okay. So, because of your blessings and good wishes, I could visit Gayadam and return without any difficulties. The Lord spoke very humbly, pleasing everyone, and they were very impressed to see the Lord's humility. The senior members touched the Lord's head and blessed him with a long life. Others touched different parts of his body and chanted mantras for the protection, for his protection. Others put their heads on his breast and invoked the mercy of Lord Govinda and Sita Devi. Nobody could describe the joy of Mother Sachi experienced when she saw her son return. Lakshmi Devi glowed with happiness by seeing her Lord's face, and the cloud of loneliness had dissipated. The joyous news spread to his in-laws' house and touched them with jubilation. The Vaishnavas were especially happy, and they ran to see the Lord. To everyone, the Lord spoke very humbly and softly. Taking leave of them, he returned to his room. He took a handful of his intimate disciples and went inside to discuss more confidential topics about his pilgrimage to Gaya. So you see, he took a handful of devotees to talk more confidentially about his pilgrimage to Gaya. So he's beginning now. He's beginning to teach this kind of bhakti and distribute it, actually, because all it takes is being favorable and faith in the devotee who's teaching such a path. Okay? And so anyway, here we go. The Lord said, "My dear friends, I want to describe to you the wonderful places that constantly reminded me of Lord Krishna. As soon as I entered Gaya, I heard the auspicious sounds of the chanting and the conch shells and bells. Hundreds and hundreds of Brahmin priests were chanting from the Vedas and were glorifying the lotus feet of Lord Krishna." Woo, yeah. Oh my God. Where the Lord left his lotus feet impression. They said, "Welcome to the holy spot where the Lord washed his lotus feet." In previous ages, when Lord Krishna visited Gaya, he washed his transcendental lotus feet. Mother Ganga has become glorious and holy by the touch of the waters of the lotus feet of the Lord. And Lord Shiva holds that water on his head with the full realization that this is the water from the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Thank you, Johan, for putting this verse up here. And this is why this has become one of the holiest and known as Padma Tirtha, or pilgrimage where the Lord left the waters of his lotus feet. And so, yeah, the Ganga actually becomes holy. A holy place becomes holy when the Lord's feet are washed by, actually, the deeper esoteric truth of this is the place becomes holy when we chant the holy name. When you're chanting the holy name in ecstatic love and tears start coming to your eyes, now you're creating a holy place with real harikatha on the level of ecstasy. The mellows, devotional mellows, you're relishing these things, and like even now, just some of this ecstasy that is awakening. I look around now, and everything feels purified from within out. Even outwardly, it's like clear. I mean, it's already pretty clear here, but it's even more clear now. This is the power of this bhakti, this devotion. It's very cleansing, purifying, more than any rules or regulations. All that's why the devotees transcend the regulative path of strict following, because this is their way of purification. They just relish the name and ecstasy, in the pastimes of the Lord, in these mellows of devotion and love. Okay, and you transcend the harder way to purify yourself, which is not as potent as this. And becomes easier. Your devotional service becomes easier. And that's what the Lord wanted um, to give to the world, the bhakti lata bij, the inclination to glorify Krishna with a heart full of taste, of devotion. And then we'll stay on the path. Otherwise, some, especially in Westerners now, you may come for a while, but if you're still doing the hard work of Vaidhi Bhakti and you don't transcend the rules into this very deep level of taste, uh-oh, what happened here? Uh-oh. Looks like it froze. Did it freeze? Okay, I think we're back. I think it froze for a moment. Um, let's see if I can bring this back up here. Okay. All right. Okay, it seems to be working again. Yeah. So he washed the transcendental lotus feet. Mother Ganga has become glorious by the holy touch of the waters from the lotus feet of the Lord. See, Goddess Ganga represents a devotee. She's an actual devotee. And yeah, so she became glorious when she's worshiping the Lord with ecstasy and love, these tears coming down. And that goes for every devotee. Just shedding, when the devotees come to the point of getting the mercy of a Vaishnava and start shedding tears of love of God, this is true initiation. This is the true second birth. You're born of the word of a devotee. And when they teach you the confidential message, when they teach the confidential message of the Vedas, this awakening can happen. Because you get what you hear. So Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta were teaching Vaidhi Bhakti mostly, and people got what they heard. Some got some taste for some of the deeper stuff, the bliss, of course, but it wasn't being taught elaborately like he has empowered us to teach and promote here in this world now. And so what you hear now, this is the more confidential teaching, the postgraduate. He called it post Caitanya Lila. He said was postgraduate. So here, devotees are hearing the postgraduate understanding of Krishna consciousness and learning that. So, and anybody, it's not like you can be qualified to learn this postgraduate. You could go for many, many lifetimes and still not be qualified. But the way the Lord has made it, if you become instantly qualified simply, well, maybe not instantly, but just by associating with the devotees teaching this path and coming into deeper in faith in what they are teaching, which is specifically this path. Okay? So it's a faith thing. You're justified before God and purified by the Lord giving himself to you, because when devotion awakens in your heart, that means the Lord is trusting you and he's giving himself to you. See, now you're in yogam, like we spoke about this morning. Yogam is union with the Lord. You become self-realized. You realize the true self, which is our transcendental Lord Krishna. Okay. So Lord Shiva, yeah, good morning. So Lord Shiva holds that water on his head with the full realization that this is the water from the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. See, he believes in Goddess Ganga. That water is purifying. The same thing when you believe in a devotee who cries for Krishna, that water, see, with full faith, see, you're justified before the Lord by faith. Krishna is saying, wow, you believe in my devotee. Ah, that's all that's necessary. And he'll handle the rest. Like Daksha, he didn't believe in Shiva. Shiva was a pure devotee. He knew the glories of Goddess Ganga. He knew the glories of devotees who cry for the Lord, cry in ecstasy, laugh, holy laughter like he does in ecstasy. He knows with full faith, he has that. And that's the teaching here, is that teach people the true teaching, the truth about everything. The truth about what God really likes, the truth about the real path to realizing God quickly. See how you're justified by faith in the devotees who cry tears of devotion and ecstasy. And it's not a blind belief thing. It's when, like Krishnadas Kaviraj said, this Caitanya Charitamrita is presented with logic and discrimination. So when you find the devotee Bhagavat who is truly relishing mellows by the action of the book Bhagavat, see chapter 1, Adi Leela, verse 98 through 100, by the action of the book Bhagavat and the devotee Bhagavat absorbed in the mellows of devotion, this devotion awakens in the hearts of others. See? So many devotees are, devotees in our Sangha, some of them are already becoming guru status. People are also becoming advanced just by their association. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing grace coming through this Sangha, man. Anybody hangs out, you hang out for 30 days and see what you think. Yeah. So as soon as the Lord repeated the name of Gayadam and Padmatirtha and remembered the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, incessant tears, streams of tears poured down from his eyes. See? So he's remembering, see, what he went, the pilgrimage and what the Brahmin said. He's remembering the glories of the lotus feet of Krishna. Okay? Of the lotus feet of the Lord. And tears, incessant tears, streams of tears poured down from his eyes. The Lord became extremely restless, unable to control his spiritual emotions. And he began crying out the name, Lord Krishna. So profuse were the tears of love of God that it watered an entire flower garden. He sighed deeply, repeating Krishna's name. He sighed deeply, repeating Krishna's name. His whole body was covered with horripilation, hair standing on end. Hey, good morning. Yeah, he could not control himself anymore. He shivered like an autumn leaf. Sriman Pandit and other devotees present were astounded at seeing this wonderful manifestation of love of Krishna. See, this kind of thing, by the mercy of our disciplic line, all the way back to Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda and their devotees, these kinds of manifestations, of course, not as fantastic and high level as Lord Chaitanya. He was Radharani and Krishna, Radha and Krishna combined. But these kinds of manifestations are manifesting in our Sangha because of the order and approval of both Krishna and Prabhupada. Actually, both came at that time in 1996 and ordered this to be preached. And so people can come and observe. You know, you don't have to be blind believers. You can actually come and observe, because all you have to do is turn your camera on every day, you know, and see, like, investigate. I mean, how much do you want Prema? Do you want to see if it's really here? Do you want to see if it's just a hoax? Well, hey, man, it's all presenting everything openly, you know, not holding back and showing everybody. You can consider all the evidence. You can consider the preaching. You can consider the ecstatic relish, you know, because sometimes we're preaching it, and sometimes you know, like glorifying that truth, making it really clear that it's what it is. It's really true, so people can have faith in something that's solid, actually rock solid. So the devotees could not remain unaffected by the tears, and swelled up in their eyes and flowed freely and unrestrained. See, so they're observing the Lord bearing his transcendental heart and relishing mellows. And they, because they were favorable and they were his associates and they were his friends, intimate friends, they also were affected by this. They had faith in Lord Caitanya, and they also, look at this, and tears welled up in their eyes. See, and flowed freely and unrestrained, as Mother Ganga had found another source. So that's happening in our Sangha, those kinds of things. See, these kinds of symptoms. Devotees, they watch each other's classes, and the more ecstatic ones, people are becoming affected by their ecstatic worship. Hey, just like that's how it's passed on. See, it's passed on like this. And then they pass it on to those who are favorable and friendly with them. Okay? So, as if so they all thought in their minds, how this sight is. We have never seen the Lord acting like this. This must be the great mercy of Lord Krishna that has allowed us to see such spiritual emotions. See, they respected it. Okay, here most people, ordinary, well, you know, people that are still on the, say, human platform, still not on this, you know, tasting this divine transcendence, they consider it crazy and all this other stuff, misunderstand it. But you see, the real devotees, they were waiting for this. They were like, wow, man, this is so great, man. This is amazing. Now they started to experiencing this kind of prema by the Lord beginning to distribute it in this way, by his own personal tasting it. So one time, this is also exemplified. One time, Lord Caitanya was in the mood of Balaram, and he was saying, bring me wine, bring me wine. See, he wanted to get intoxicated. Bring me wine, bring me wine. See, but it's not the kind of intoxication that people think. See, there's a new wine that in the Bible they talk about, this new wine, and now that new wine was what Lord Caitanya wanted. Bring me wine, bring me wine. And then Srivas, very intelligent, he said, that wine that that wine that you want will be available when you begin to drink it, and then we will get some also. See, that's how you get it. So that when the Lord starts to relish mellows, like he's doing here, the mellows of Krishna's name and pastimes, then that wine is distributed to his associates, to his disciples, to his intimate friends. And that's how this disciplic line continues. And that's why you can't get it any other way. It's very hard. People trying to be sadhana siddhas by strict chanting 1 lakh, 2 lakhs even. And they neglect the association of devotees who are already there, relishing mellows, and then they can just get it. Forget your 2 lakhs, just go and associate with ecstatic devotees who have this treasure, and just get it like that as a gift. See, because people they think by renunciation, by austerities, and by strict sadhanas, and chanting 1 or 2 lakhs, they're going to attain Krishna. So they keep doing it to attain Krishna. But the more smarter way, the easier way, practical way is go follow the way the Lord taught. Look for the devotees who are relishing transcendental mellows. and become friendly with them, hear from them, learn from them, and then this prema, the highest happiness, will be born in those who do that. That's how it works. Otherwise, very rare and difficult to attain this kind of prema. Anyway, that's what's available in this sangha, to tell you frankly. And you don't believe it, come and see. Come and see those who are receiving this gift and going through the purification. So a lot of devotees here, some devotees here, some new ones, okay, and I think the person may still be here. Hopefully they are. They sometimes wonder why sometimes things come up and out of them when they're feeling this love, and love is awakening, and then they leave. Maybe the next day they go out into the world or something, and then they find some anger is coming up, some emotions, some traumas from their past, and they think, oh, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. No, 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 that's part of the healing. You have to become exercised, and this bhakti is so powerful that being around it, the emanation, it starts to get all the garbage out, all those traumas, all that weight that we carry our whole lives. See, it starts to come out. So there's more room for bhakti. Okay, so this is the path. And so it's natural. You got to just accept that, like, okay, this is part of the path. There'd be more room for devotion, more room for love of God and intimacy with the Lord. See? So that's why we're dealing with this here on the Vaidhi level, the way Prabhupada taught to get people moving along the path is they can't deal with it. It's mostly still in the stage of suppression. It's meant to be dealt with at another time. So when they're ready, in some lifetime, they'll meet a devotee will, by their relishing these transcendental mellows and that emanation from them, ecstatic prema emanates, and it purifies all that stuff inside. Matter of fact, it just comes up and out, and sometimes on its way out, it's confusing. So people need to know that. If you got any comments or questions. So I gave the example once when I first started teaching, well, not first, in 2009, a lady was watching my YouTube videos and she was getting so much love, devotion, and awakening, real love of God was happening. Oh, hi. And anyway, she was always commenting, oh, thank you so much. I feel so much of this love, and it was really amazing. And then for 2 weeks, I didn't hear from her. And I was wondering, well, I wonder what happened. She was really enjoying the videos and all that. Because that was, I was teaching about Lord Caitanya. I was so ecstatic, just like here now. Anyway, after 2 weeks, she came back. She says she started to get afraid because this stuff started to come up, anger and fears and different traumas from her past. But it was coming up for a healing. It needed to come up and out. And then she said, I went to a psychologist and I told my story, and the psychologist was a kind of a spiritual person, and the psychologist told her, Krishna led her to a really intelligent psychologist. She said, it looks like this material existence is the fire is being put out in your life. See, you're starting to transcend all of this, because he was telling her what was her symptoms and what was happening, and the psychologist was inspired by Krishna, So anyway, she came back and told me that, but actually things didn't stick with her because she was so caught up in the world. She had a big family and she didn't have time for this, and that's how it is. But when some people like that, they don't have a deep enough root to stick with this. They don't understand the importance of it. So it may be some years or another lifetime in another life. All of this is remembered. All of that, even shedding one tear for Krishna, is remembered by the Lord and is for our benefit and for our advancement. Whether we stick with it, like here, people are sticking, they're so stuck with Krishna and this ecstatic worship, and they love in it. that they're less apt to leave, and they stick and go all the way, and it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper forever. It's a great example. We all need it. People who are sticking with this. So any comments out there? Johan's quoting lots of verses here. I don't, but what about you guys out there? Anybody watching this here? See, he's quoting everything confirming what we're discussing here. See, it's all based on the Vedic scriptures. Hi. Hey, having a good walk?
Yes.
It's a very casual one, I can tell you guys are doing. Slow but sure, huh? Oh, okay. Yeah. Take it in. It's different weather, huh?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So the devotees could not remain unaffected by tears swelled up in their eyes and flowed freely and unrestrained, as if Mother Ganga had found another source. They all thought in their minds, how this sight is. We have never seen the Lord acting like this. This must be the great mercy of Lord Krishna, that he has allowed us to see such spiritual emotions. Lalita Ganga. You see, Lalita Ganga says, yeah, we can only keep on confirming. Yeah. I mean, you're confirming by your own witness, your own example. It's amazing. That's real preaching. You just show people, that this is real deal, man. This is wonderful, by tasting it. Yeah, Premas get strongly alive in us. Good morning, ladies. Yeah. Having a good walk? Yeah, right. Yeah. Are you with those guys? Oh, yeah, I could tell you guys walking just as slow as they are. I had a feeling you were from Minnesota. They all thought in their minds how this sight is. We have never seen the Lord acting like this. This must be the great mercy of Lord Krishna, that he's allowed us to see such spiritual emotions. See, this is a great privilege, to see it, man. It was so nice this morning. Christina was really off her rocker in ecstasy. It was amazing to see that. It was like so beautiful, so innocent, so wonderful to see another devotee getting such ecstatic emotions. So, look, we got 3, 4 that are really intensely radiating this now. And it'll just more and more will come, more and more here will awaken more. It's a progressive path. Wonderful. After a while, the Lord became still, and external consciousness returned to him. He began to speak again. My dear friends, please return to your homes today, but I want to see you all tomorrow to discuss very confidentially. I want to disclose my deep sadness in my heart. So that deep sadness is not real sadness it's real sadness, but real sadness of the spiritual dimension is ecstatic. It's a mellow. It's really wonderful, but people can't understand because it's about Ras. See, the Ras in the material world is considered like iron like. When you're sad here, nobody likes that. Oh my God. But we got to feel it. Why? Because we don't have transcendental emotions. We have to feel what do you call material emotions, and it's so painful, usually sadness and other things. People usually repress it, but sometimes it's got to come out. It's just like like it's down in there and in the subconscious, so it has to come up and out. And that spiritual emotions does that. It's like an automatic release. So you shouldn't be afraid of that. So let it come out. Oh, what did I do? Yeah, can you see me? Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe it's better like that. Okay. So the Spirit, okay. Now everyone returned to their houses, and the Lord became engrossed in his own world. The Spirit of love of God had now entered into the body of the Lord. See, the Spirit of love of God, it entered into the body of the Lord. That's how it is. Or it awakens in our bodies, into our temples, and lives there now. See, that spirit, this devotion, this bhakti, bhakti ladabish. He had lost all taste for anything mundane. Mother Sachi could not understand his new transformation that had overcome her son, but nevertheless, she was happy just to have him near. She saw her son crying out the name Krishna, and tears of love of God flowed profusely from his eyes. See, relishing mellows. The Lord cried out, "Where is my beloved Krishna? Where is my beloved Krishna?" This increased his mood of separation and love of Krishna. All such activities of the Lord were incomprehensible to Mother Sachi. So in great awe, with folded hands, she prayed for the shelter of Lord Govinda. The time had dawned where Lord Caitanya was to reveal his identity, and the entire universe swayed with the waves of joy. News spread to all the devotees of the Lord. The Lord Caitanya was was now constantly shedding tears of love of Godhead. So they all ran to meet him. All the Vaishnavas visited the Lord. The Lord treated them humbly and spoke with everyone. He requested the Vaishnavas, "Please come and meet me in Suklambara Brahmachari's house tomorrow. I want to open my grief-laden heart to all of you." So I'm going to skip a little bit. Okay. Well, I'll just read from here. Okay. Just then, Sriman Pandit came laughing with joy, and everyone greeted him, saying, "Why are you so happy today?" Sriman said, "Certainly, there must be a reason." So they asked, "Why do you not say it?" Srimad Pandit began, "Then hear the reason. Something most wonderful and impossible has happened. Nimai Pandit has become a great Vaishnava devotee." Yeah, it's fun. Makes the walk more fun. Yeah. I heard he returned from Gaya, so I went in the evening to meet him. He spoke with everyone with a humble and detached air, and did not show the slightest sign of arrogance and insolence. His whole body overwhelmed with ecstatic symptoms, shivering, horripilation, and as soon as he cried out Lord Krishna's name, he fell on the ground unconscious. He regained consciousness, and he repeated Krishna's name and began crying in separation from the Lord, as if Mother Ganga was flowing there. I think we'll do a part 2 on this here. I need to rest my voice a little bit here. And yeah. So anyway, just to sum it up, that's basically it. This is the path being taught in our Lord Chaitanya's Amazing Grace place. This is the kind of grace. It's really wonderful, and it's so wonderful to be able to share this with the devotees. This is our legacy here, and it's a rare right now, and it's hard for devotees to wrap their minds around it right now because it's so new, but it's not really new. It's the way Lord Chaitanya taught, and Srinivas and Narottam and Shamananda after the disappearance taught also. So this is a revival again of this wonderful gift of Prema Bhakti. Okay, so uh, yeah, so we'll leave it here like this for a little bit. I'll get my walk in here, and we'll be back. Hey, thank you very much. And if you missed any of the video, you can watch the replay. And yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. Actually, let's see. Let's invite some guests here. I'm going to invite. How do I do that? Let's see. We'll keep it. No, no. No. Actually, I might start another one, and then I'll invite guests here. I'll start maybe kind of. So look for the link coming up in maybe 10, 15 minutes, maybe less. I just actually have to use the toilet, and I have to walk a little bit. So yeah. So I'm gonna pretty quick. Actually, I'm gonna start another one. Okay, Hare Krishna. And actually, if you come here, you're new or any, you're gonna come. I think we have a lot of devotees here, so I'll invite them all on, and so you can meet our sangha, meet these devotees. So you can even question them if you want, if you're new. It's gonna make friends. This is a very, very wonderful opportunity. It's not in every lifetime that you find such ecstasy being preached. It's been 500 years since this kind of preaching has been initiated again so freely, so publicly. So take advantage, come check it out. Okay, so be back in a little bit, like a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes.